Hi. So now that we know how to write our algebraic equations, we're going to take our first steps into learning how to solve equations. So this section is going to be about modeling and solving addition equations. How can you use models to solve addition equations? You can use algebra tiles to help you find solutions of equations. So with the algebra tiles, they're using a longer green tile to represent a variable and a smaller white tile to represent constants. Over here, the question is, Thomas has $2. He wants to buy a poster that costs $7. Model and solve the equation x plus 2 is equal to 7 to find the amount in dollars that Thomas needs to save in order to buy the poster. So, what we need to do is we need to draw two rectangles on our paper or on a whiteboard to represent the two sides of the equation. They're giving us our equation. They give us the equation x plus 2 is equal to 7. So, with that, we have our longer tile, which is going to represent our x's, our variables, and then we have our smaller tile, which is going to represent our constants. Each small tile represents 1. Each big tile represents 1x, or 1t, or 1 of our variable. So we have our left-hand side is equal to our right-hand side. These are going to be our two rectangles. Then they want you to use the algebra tiles to model the equation. Model x plus 2 in the left rectangle, and model 7 is in the right rectangle. So x plus 2. We're going to have a long tile for our variable. And we're going to have two smaller tiles to represent our 1 plus 1, which is 2. So this is our x plus 2. Then in our right box, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we have our x plus 2 is equal to 7. They're saying, what type of tiles and number of tiles did you use? So we can see that we used one variable tile, because this is 1x, and we used 2 of our 1 tiles on the left and 7 of our 1 tiles on the right. To solve the equation, get the x tile by itself on one side. If you remove a tile from one side, you can keep the two sides equal by removing the same type of tile from the other side. So they're asking, how many 1 tiles do you need to remove from each side to get the x tile by itself on the left-hand side? We can see that in order to get our x tile by itself, we need to take away our 2 1 tiles. But what we do on the left, we have to do on the right. So we can make this let me redraw it over here. So we have x plus 2, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what they're saying is that for each tile that we remove on the left-hand side, we have to remove that same tile type and in the same quantity on the right-hand type. So if we remove one tile over here, we have to remove one tile here. One tile over here, we move one tile over there. This is showing us that our x, because we're left with one x tile over here, is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have x is equal to 5, meaning that Thomas needs to save $5 in order to buy the poster. How can you use your model to check your solution? Our model is showing exactly our solution. Our model has to match up. And we can even plug this back in to see if it's true. 5 plus 2 is 7. That's true. So they're asking you, tell how you could use algebra tiles to model the equation x plus 4 is equal to 8. So in this case, for 2, they want us to model x plus 4 is equal to 8. We have our left-hand side and our right-hand side. Remember, we need our x tile, which is going to be our long tile. Then we need 4 tiles of our smaller variety that represent our 1. So this is x plus 4. Over here, we need 8 1 tiles. So this is our model for x plus 4 is equal to 8. They're asking, what would you do to solve the equation x plus 9 equals 12 without using a model? So this is getting into our next section. If we do it one way we can do it is trial and error. The next way we can do it, which is getting into the next section we're going to talk about, is because we have our variable and we're adding 9, to get our variable by itself, we have to take 9 away. But what we do on one side, we do on the other side. So we'll find out whether we do it trial and error or another way, that in this situation, we're going to get our x is equal to 3. So here they want us to make connections. You can solve an equation by drawing a model to represent algebra tiles. Let a rectangle represent the variable. Let a small square represent 1. Solve the equation x plus 3 equals 7. So, if we're trying to solve x plus 3 equals 7, by using our algebra tiles, it's going to be the same thing that we did up here. We're going to need to represent our two sides. We have our x, 1, 2, 3. Here we have x plus 3. And then we need 7 1 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So remember, to solve it, we want to get the x tile by itself. So if we take away a tile on the left, we have to take away the same type of tile on the right. Take away a tile on the left, we have to take away the same type of tile on the right. Take away a tile on the left, we have to take away the same type of tile on the right. Now we're left with just our x term. And we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is telling us that our answer to that is x equals 4. So with our questions over here, they're asking you to solve equations by using the algebra tiles. So we have to do exactly what we just did here. For example, for the first one, we have x plus 5 is equal to 7. So we need to represent our left-hand side, and we need to represent our right-hand side. So here we have our algebra tile, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's our x plus 5. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So remember, any tile we take away from the left, we also have to take away from on the right. And here we can see that our x is equal to 2. That's what they want us to do for all of these. So the same thing goes with cases where we have the number on the left. It's just now our algebra tile is going to be on the right. So for 2, we have 8 is equal to x plus 1. If we're trying to represent this, we have our left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have our right-hand side, our algebra tile plus 1. We want to get our algebra tile by itself, so we take away everything but the algebra tile on our side with our algebra tile. And what we do to the right, we have to do to the left. We're going to see that 7 is equal to x. So I want you guys to finish this page. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, which basically they just want you to do what we were doing here. Set up your algebra tiles, and then get your algebra tile by itself. If anyone has any questions, I'm going to be doing Google Meet at 9 a.m. So you can ask your questions in Google Meet, or you could ask it as a comment in Google Classroom. So if you have any questions on anything we did, please ask. Thank you.